Union Minister for Development of Northeast Region, Scindia on Saturday said that the centre will ask all the 8 Northeast states to do social audit for all the donor projects implemented in the states. Speaking to the media persons in Shillong, the Union Minister said that the ministry will not only look at utilization and completion certificates for projects, but will also make sure that all the 8 states of the Northeast do the social audit. Stating the importance of looking at outcome instead of just the outlay, the minister said it's necessary to not just look at the process but also at outcome. He said the aim is to reach a common end goal of development and progress as enshrined by the Prime Minister in his insistence of ensuring that Viksit means a Viksit Northeast. Scindia said that his attempt is to bring a new dimension to the way to have partnership with all the northeastern states.
So there has been...
Before that, will there be any meeting with the chief ministers because the finance minister is not present in the budget?
So let me answer that and say this, that I think it's important for us to not necessarily only look at events, but to look at a journey, right? The budget is an extremely important part of any state's development and the country's development. But at the same time, it's very important to strategize and come up with a process for a journey. That's what I have embarked upon with our Chief Minister here in Meghalaya in this 2.5-hour, 3-hour meeting that we've had. It has not been a meeting only about numbers and about projects and about rupees, whether it's in lakhs or crores, but it's been about a journey and what are the areas that we need to concentrate on. I intend to have the same conversation with the other 7 chief ministers because it's only in partnership that we can forge together a path forward. As far as the donor ministry is concerned, we had a budget of 2,289 crores in 2014-15 under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, where he has looked at not necessarily a look east policy alone, but an act east policy, where he has looked at replacing the thought of the northeast being the farthest end of the country to being the first entry point of the country, to being the gateway of the country. And rightfully so, because when the sun shines on India, the first place that the sun casts its rays and illuminates all our lives is in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. And therefore, the Northeast must be looked as the gateway to India, which is the Prime Minister's prerogative. And which is why you've seen a budget allocation grow from 24,000 crores in 2014-15 in terms of the 10% GBS support of 54 states to over 1 lakh crores today. So there's a 4x multiple in terms of the gross budgetary support. There's close to a 3x multiple in terms of donors' budget. And therefore, whether you look at infrastructure, where almost 40,000 kilometers of roads have been built under PMGSY, where airports have grown from 9 to 17 today in the Northeast. Many states did not even have a single airport. When you look at rail connectivity, after 67 years, rail connectivity first came to the Northeast 5 or 6 years ago. So therefore, there has been huge movement across infrastructure fronts, across healthcare front, across the medical sector front, and we intend to push that forward along with all our 8 states in the near future based on the strategy that we come up with.
Don't you think that Centre is planning to have a single body for the Northeast?
But there is a single body. I don't think it's important to necessarily look at whether it is you or you who's going to be the funnel. But it's necessarily to not look at only process, but also to look at outcome. Not necessarily to look at only outlays, but look at the outcome. So for example, in the donor ministry now, we have put together in the last 2-3 weeks, we have put together consulting all our people that we will not look at only utilization certificates and completion certificates for projects. we will try and make sure that all our states also do a social audit. So, for example, if a hospital has been put up, or for example, if a school has been put up, that's brick and mortar. But brick and mortar alone has no value unless there is a soul inside the brick and mortar. So, a hospital must have doctors, a hospital must have nurses, a school must have teachers, because that is the real soul. And therefore, not only a UC and a CC, but also a social audit as to how many patients have been treated in a hospital, how many students have been taught in a school. That is very monumentally important in our path of progress as we go forward. So I'm trying to bring a new dimension to the way that we think in partnership with all our states, so that we can reach our common end goal of development and progress as enshrined by the Prime Minister in his insistence of ensuring that Viksit Bharat means a Viksit Northeast. Thank you very much.